Okay, this is gonna be a rough cast, but we're gonna go for it. You ready?
I am ready.
All right, we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, unpause, and we're gonna click on unpause. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, unpause. Oh, I fucked it up.
Oh god, I'm at 12 seconds.
Okay, let me just get there. All right, ready again?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. Today, guys, we're going to be watching a best of 5 series for the MKL. I'm assuming it's some kind of, it stands for MK League, so we're going to say the MK League. It's a Chinese league, we're assuming, because I don't know for sure. It's a guess here. And I'm joined by my wonderful co-caster, Carson McCarson. With
Hello,
10
hello, 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 hello.
Wonderful.
That was 10 hellos almost.
Wonderful, wonderful, warm welcome for Carson. Let's introduce our players really quickly. I'll take the left, you can have the right. In the left side of the map, which is called Wise Girl Final. I guess the final refers to the version. There will be no more after this. We happen to have our famous light blue undead. His name is Xiaokai. I did the zoom in thing again. It's awesome. Okay.
Nice.
And
I'll time it. I'll time it for you.
okay.
And in the top right, we have the purple night elf. We have ColorFul.
boom.
Ooh.
I think we nailed it. I think we nailed that one.
And one thing right off the bat I wanted to note is Kai has gone Crypt, Graveyard, Altar. That was his build.
Oh, he's going, what? Why is he going Standard Fiends?
I don't know.
He is definitely going Standard Fiend, so that is a Standard Fiend build. I have absolutely no, why would, I've seen this at like level 30 ladder on Battle.net.
Yes.
No, I will say this though, there is one point that I definitely would make about this. If you've considered the way that Undead vs. Night Elf has been played recently, right, in the past 2 years, I would say, we've seen early ghouls, and it's always going into this kind of where they don't do a lot on the map in terms of creeping. They do if they can, but a lot of times, I think you've seen the strategy as well, where they go for they trade off instead of getting creeps XP, they want to get to tier 3 with that big DK, Lich, Naga, and not necessarily in that order, push with a few Fiends and a bunch of Frenzy Ghouls, right? Well, that is not such a different strategy, really, from opening with Fiends and then getting the Ghouls later. Although I have absolutely no idea what he's actually going for, but I can see the merit to this, which is something that I don't think I would have ever said before.
Yeah, that's true. Because normally when you start with a ghoul opener, you're going to be super aggressive. You're going to push with maybe 5 ghouls from the get-go with your level 1 DK and aura. And then you're going to get a Naga at tier 2. And then just harass even more. But with this, I guess you can get a level 3 DK like right off the bat. And then do your tier 3 push or whatever push you want to do. Because normally it's the timing in this matchup that the undead wants to hit.
That's a good point. And the one thing that I would say is I do wonder what the difference is. Because obviously when you open with ghouls and we see them trading XP for harassing and trying to stop and slow the elf from creeping, I do wonder because is it because of the fact that it's harder to creep efficiently with ghouls? Because you can obviously creep much more efficiently with fiends, but is that really the reason that they're doing it? I'm honestly not sure. So if that is the reason that it's just harder, then I would definitely say this is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I definitely haven't seen this in a long time, except for level 30 Battle.net, like you said.
Exactly, right? But who knows? And he's actually going for, this is quite an interesting play too. Notice this, he's gone for 3 Fiends, and then he's going for a 3rd Ghoul. So he's looking for some kind of like lumber intense play, I guess? I don't know. That or he's just not intending to get a 4th Fiend? I'm not sure exactly how to read his mind here, because normally if you want 4 Fiends, you can do a 4 Fiend tech without that Ghoul, and your lumber still works out pretty much fine. Unless he's trying to do a really big tier 2 push. In which case you would need extra lumber to get your Slaughterhouse and your Lich and your tech, because obviously you want the tech.
That could be, but I don't see a tier 2 push really working. To be honest, with just straight Fiends. I don't know.
Well, you could get like the Naga.
Yeah, true. It could work with a Naga, but I do think ghouls synergize better with a Naga early game.
I would say that's true, except for the part that you have to deal with the Panda, which almost completely nullifies the ghouls.
And especially on a map like this where there's a lot of creeps, you can take pretty easily for the Night Elf. You can get your Panda to level 3 pretty much straight away. And
well,
that would nullify the ghouls.
I don't think that's true if you're versus like a big tier 2 push.
Very true.
So that maybe that's even what he's thinking is, you know, he's going to be able to creep that panda, and I'm not going to stop him unless I can do some tier 2 timing.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's making more fiends. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the merit to going that early goal is compared to 4 fiend tech, but maybe there is a timing and it just works out better. That's probably it. I would assume.
I would definitely assume as well.
Yeah. Although he is currently down on XP, we can see level 1 on the Death Knight about 75% of the way through versus level 2 and about 25% in on the Demon Hunter with a Staff of Teleportation, Claws of Attack +6, and Boots of Speed. And of course, he's got a lot of archers actually, which is interesting. He just picked up a Naga Sea Witch as the elf's second choice of hero, so he's looking to play aggressive. Interesting.
Yeah. I definitely like this choice because he saw that he went for the Fast Fiend opener, which is normally a creep-heavy opening, so he went a few more archers, got the Naga second, is being super aggressive and not letting Kai creep as much as he would like, which is probably his plan from the get-go here.
I wonder if it's his plan or if it was an adaptation, considering he scouted this, but I don't know. But this is a lot of fiends actually, and he doesn't have coil, so he's gonna have to be really careful with these low HP fiends. And is he gonna get to surround? Surrounds the Demon Hunter. Is it gonna matter? Staffed out to his base, so it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Will stop that aggression though, which is pretty nice, and drains some of that moon juice.
I'm not sure, but I think I would probably say that after the elf extended into the base like that, the aggression was probably not looking good.
Yeah,
because he took a lot of damage just from that cold tower walking in.
Yeah, you don't want to fight in an undead base. It's something everyone should learn.
Everyone. Although this here is definitely a hill. Is that Archer? Archer's actually not standing on the hill. He's standing at the top of the hill. Do you see that where he's creeping? That's interesting.
Yeah, I can see. It
looked a lot. It looked quite a bit, but I guess when you consider that right there is the hill line. I'm like drawing a box
further down.
I can't see it.
Yeah, well you can see the ramp.
Yeah.
And I guess ramps like that are considered hills.
Yeah, well the ramps are the only things that are hills.
Oh, okay.
When the terrain is smooth and it does a hill, then it's not actually considered a hill by the engine, so it doesn't.
So therefore, Twisted Meadows has no hills.
I don't think so.
You were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, for context, but I don't think it does. I'm almost 100%. I'd have to look at it again, but.
The player's forces are under attack.
And we do have straight tier 3 getting 2 lores up. He already has 1 lore up, and the second one is going up as well as the shop. And 1 drag coming out. I'm assuming he's going for quick bears. But it's kind of weird with a Naga. I don't know. See what he can do with a Naga, mid game.
Well, I think he's done pretty much what he wants to do in terms of his early game aggression with the Naga, because obviously he kind of got pushed back, and then he picked up a level 3 on his Demon Hunter. Now he's going to get creep jacked, and that's going to be a Nova that's going to take down at least 1 archer. You're going to see a second one going down as well. This is not going to be good for the Elf's army, although the Undead's not going to get out scot-free, it looks like. No, 1 fiend down, although the Naga could potentially die here. If it doesn't, yeah, it's dead. Coil.
Yeah.
Kind of looking needless coil there, but because he doesn't have a staff to staff him out on the Demon Hunter. Nonetheless, I do think getting to tier 3 is the best choice if you have a Naga and you don't do crippling damage early on. Just because then you can get bears and you don't need to rely. Because I'm going to say this, and I'm almost positive this is true, that the cold arrow and the dryad poison stacks.
Yes,
I don't think it stacks. I think it stacks multiplicativity. Multiplicativity? I can't say that.
I don't know the word you're trying to get.
It stacks by multiplying the 2 slows together, which is less effective than additively. Additionally, God, I'm
additively, I believe.
Additively, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so it's not quite as effective as you might naively imagine, but it is, I do believe, still more effective.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But again, with bears and then slowing them down, you can actually catch those fiends really easily. And obviously, bears in bear form are they just absolutely destroy any fiend-based army if you can catch them. And also, I do like that we're seeing a sacrificial pit already going down, or already down, and he's got a shade already out. A slaughterhouse is going up as well. I would really like to see a boneyard for this, because 1 frost room to deal with the bear threat, which we're probably going to be seeing, which is my guess what's going to come based off the hero choice. It would be really good.
Yeah.
Another fiend not making it to the burrow. Getting dusted after that anyway, but still. Bit of miss micro, I think, by that.
And another fiend.
Yeah.
Another fiend goes. Demon Hunter is just a beast right now. 2 claws of attack, plus 15 damage. Soon to be an orb, most likely.
Mm-hmm. Trade that dust out. Give it to the Naga.
And we do see he already got the 1 attack upgrade and instantly getting the 1 armor upgrade. So going for 1/1 fiends here.
Yeah, which is another interesting choice.
Yeah.
Armor, of course, if you're doing armor, then he knows that he's going to be versus bears. That's what's going to happen here. Because you only ever get the armor if you're trying to keep your fiends alive versus big, heavy melee units. Or there is one other case where you're versing like Orc who's going Mass Wind Riders. That's like the other time you get armor.
That's always fun.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Speed scroll, everything dead. And there's a shade now on ColorFul's army, following him around, watching him creep. So he feels safe to take probably this 9 o'clock.
I would assume he's obviously safe to take whatever he wants. I think. 'Cause
yeah.
He's got a pretty strong army here.
And I would very much like to see a goblin ship or whatever it is called to creep the bottom left and bottom right. That's what I'm hoping for.
A dragon turtle level 10. It has 2,000 life, 4 heavy armor, does 65 to 83 chaos damage on a fast melee attack, with 2 sea elemental level 5 adds at 28 to 37. That is not a easy creep, like you said earlier. I don't think it is, because you're not going to walk out of that unless you have a lot of regeneration with you fully recovered. But I will say this: that is a lot of XP and probably a fantastic item.
I'm really wondering what it is, because all these new Chinese maps have unique items. I wonder if there's any other ones that we haven't discovered yet.
I'm sure there are, and I would like to know what they are as well. We haven't seen any of the new ones so far, have we?
No, not on this map. Maybe I'm pretty sure the next map. Maybe the other map. I don't know.
Don't go spoiler it. This could be the last game. Who knows?
Could be. This could be the.
And this best of 5, this game.
Yeah, most likely. And Demon are taking a bit of focus. Does have an invuln pot and a staff, so it won't get surrounded or die or anything. And there is no mana for another Nova or another coil, so he just gets rejuvened right back up to full. Might be a fight here. 3 Dryads and 2 Bears will probably take this army.
3 Dryads and 3 Bears. Ooh.
3 Bears?
Yeah.
Ooh.
One's
No
in
chance.
that rejuve mode.
Yeah. Yeah,
Poor
this
Fiend.
Fiend might actually go down. Nice Frost Armor there, but instantly abolished. Just trying to block, but he has no mana for a coil. It probably will go down.
The Boneyard is almost finished, though, so that'll be a really good way to help deal with these bears. Obviously, destroyers are fine for the moment.
And just terrible positioning for these Fiends right now. But they do end up forcing the bears back, guys. He pulls a couple ghouls, 2 ghouls.
Yeah.
And 1 bear forced to be staffed and 1 bear forced to back, and he looks like he'll defend this now.
Crippler it out. Looking to maybe do some kind of stun. Gonna dodge it with a nice invul pot, so that's always good. I don't know if that was a proper dodge, but it looked like he went to start casting it and canceled it after the invul pot had started.
Yeah.
Another Fiend down. I think the Undead's doing a reasonable job here. He's picking units off. He's taking some trades for XP. I think the Elf came out better, even though he had to TP there. But I don't think the Undead was really poor for the Undead. The one problem I would say the Undead has at this point is that ColorFul's expansion is just finished. He's getting that Entangled Gold Mine right now, and 5 Wisps are sure to not be too far off.
And he looks like Kai's about to actually scout that expansion. This is somewhat standard timing for a Night Elf to take an expansion in this matchup, I think. Mm-hmm. So he's expecting it and scouting the only expansion he really could take. ColorFul, that is.
Yeah. I don't think there's really any other choices, is there?
No, it's kind of like Echo Isles in the way the gold mines are lined up.
Which is not good. I don't like that. Wise girl, why?
Why, wise girl?
Come on. Why would you do this, wise girl? She has Thorns aura, actually.
Really? Oh, I actually noticed that earlier. And now she has
Thorns?
Shadow Meld as well.
I noticed. Yeah, I was just looking at her. She's all invisible.
Mm-hmm.
She's all like, I'm too pure for this battlefield. I'll hide with my thorns. Oh, it's because I bet it's because roses are thorny. That's what it is. That is a metaphor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scholar Pure.
I think, therefore I am.
Mm-mm.
Also, thou art Romeo. I'm quoting all kinds of Shakespeare.
Whatever you can remember from high school.
It's been a while since it has been a long time since I've read any Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's been about over a year for me.
That's a shame. Did you ever watch the Shakespeare version, the modern movie, where they had like guns and shit, and they're just like rat-a-tat-tatting each other? It was hilarious.
No.
It was so bad. We watched that in school, and it was funny.
That sounds almost watchable.
There's the Goblin Night Scope.
Oh,
on the ground.
nice.
Not
I
getting picked
really
up.
like that item, I will say.
I do
And
too.
Coil Nova Impale on the Demon Hunter gets sapped out. There's a lot of Dryads right now, which pretty much nullifies these Destros almost.
You know, I would say you're not far off from being correct there. The Destroyers, though, I think the Destroyers are really just there to eat Rejuve so he can hero focus better.
Very true. Very true.
Of course, he's going to have an issue with mana because he's, you know, the next fight, this is going to be the next fight they take, and basically, he's going to go one round of nukes, and then he's going to get mana burned on the Death Knight, probably, and that'll be the Lich out of mana, the Crippler out of mana, and the Death Knight out of mana, which is really not a good spot. He does have that Potion of Greater Mana on the Death Knight, so that's not too bad. Actually, it looks like the mana burn on the Crippler, so he's not even going to get an Impale off. He's just going to have to hole up here and
will.
micro really well. I don't think he will now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, the second mana burn. Getting a bit of focus. Nice coil there. And pretty good positioning here for Kai.
Has the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Crippler, so he's just feeling comfortable tanking with that right now. There's not a lot of burst damage the elf can do here. I mean, he has Forked Lightning, and that's pretty much it. Gonna have a nice staff on the bears. These Destroyers micro over the trees to avoid focus fire from those Dryads. Keeping the Destroyers alive is the goal, I think. Is he gonna keep that up? I don't know. He's kind of panicking. It looks like maybe for the Lich, because he just lost a Destroyer. Not good. He probably is just going to keep this fight up until he feels like he has to TP out, because he's obviously not going to win this fight. Unless maybe he can kill the Death Knight, or the Demon Hunter rather. Does he happen to have? I mean, that's a long Invul Pot. That was a greater one. Oh, geez, that Lich is very low on life. He really could do with getting out of here, getting another coil on the Lich. Is it going to? It's not going to be in time. So Demon Hunter's going to get staffed right
nice
on
staff.
out.
Nice staff.
Bear goes
that was
down.
really well played.
It was something. Here comes that Demon Hunter right back in.
Oh.
Crippler at level 3. Will he get off an Impale? No, he won't. He won't use it. I don't know who that was truly in favor for, but I think it was probably the elf.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough fiends there to deal with all the Dryads that were just wrecking those Destros.
Yeah.
Seem to be. Yeah, you need probably at least 4 or 5 fiends to deal with. However, I think there's
Well,
like 8 Dryads
I don't know
at
if
the start.
it's. I don't know how much I agree with that, because the Crypt Lord and the Lich with the orb kind of does a lot of damage to Dryads as well.
That's true.
And obviously fiends are a good way to deal with Dryads, no doubt. But when you consider,
It's just they had really nice positioning in that fight. So that fight in particular, you needed more fiends, but in every fight, you probably can just focus them down with heroes.
yeah, because he couldn't really micro away or anything. Though I don't know how much he would do that. But I will say in this one case, he just impaled that bear. I don't know if he needed to, but he did. He made certain.
He just really wanted to.
I will say this though, right now the undead is not sitting in a bad position on food. You can see he's sitting at 54 out of 60, and his opponent sitting at 62 out of 80 with an expansion. So obviously the economy advantage here is definitely in the favor of the elf player, but you know, it's not insurmountable yet. He's definitely gonna be able to take these bears down really quickly if he wants to focus them. And an abomination out, which is gonna be really good for dealing with the Dryads. One staff on one bear. Can you get the other bear? Oh, one fiend down. A little bit late on the dust, but that fiend was already dead, but nonetheless, may as well do it.
And is there another coil? There is one more coil. Oh, nice TP.
Oh, but he's gonna get to the shop and Moonwells first, it looks like. And he's just gonna, that's good though, since it was a TP scroll, it did kind of force the elf back to his base and letting the undead get out of there, which is good because he really wants to be fighting with his Lich if he can. Although I do see the merit in going ahead and forcing little skirmishes right now, because you really don't want that elf to get to 80 food when you're not at also 80 food, basically, because a large elf army with a bunch of Dryads is kind of hard to deal with.
Yeah. And he does know about that expansion, so I imagine he really wants to win a fight so he can go break that expo. But at the moment, he just ColorFul is just gaining more and more advantage by having this expo up.
Yep. And he's sitting at 54, well, the undead's sitting at 54 supply right now, and he's been sitting at that for a long time, which is actually really poor for him, because that's sitting in upkeep for way longer than he wants to.
Yeah, that's another unfortunate thing about ColorFul having an expansion. He's not, because he knows ColorFul is going to break.
Well, this creep summoned at level 5 Sea Elemental. That's a good bit of XP. See how much of a chunk does the Lich get here. That's not bad for having 3 heroes right there. That was a good amount. It's like 30 XP per hero.
Not doing math again?
Oh god, no. No! Don't leave it at 3! Oh god, I was about to leave that Revenant at 3 HP. I would have been very unhappy.
Do you know about the mercs on this map?
I don't know what they are. No, I've never seen this map before.
And Mana Stone. He definitely wants to go get that.
He
I
does if
assume
he
it's
can.
not.
If he can get over there. Just has
I mean,
to
that's
get,
almost worth getting a ship for.
I would say pretty much, yeah.
Is under siege.
Well, where is the shipyard? Isn't that like at the top? Oh man,
Top.
that would take forever to get down there.
He could send a ghoul there, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, oops. I just paused. Don't worry. I unpaused like almost immediately. Should be fine. Yeah. I don't know. Level 4 on the Lich there? Yeah. Okay. Level 3 on the level 5. I think the Undead's best bet at this point is going to be having high enough level heroes that he can just kind of win these fights by nuking down the enemy heroes. And that's not such a bad strategy if your opponent's rocking a Demon Hunter and a Naga, because Naga is obviously fairly easy to do. Looks like we're going to see a Crypt Fiend going down right here. Does he have Dust? He has one charge on Dust. He's not even going to burrow in time anyway. That's a shame.
Would have been pretty nice to force him to waste that last charge of dust, but
Frostworm illusions. This could
I like
be...
that.
I don't know if he noticed that those are illusions. If he does, he could just spam some abolishes. But Bear going to get immediately focused down. We're going to see those abolishes getting coming off. So he did, in fact, know that those were fakes. And more Bears going to get focused down. If the Bears go down and the heroes are kind of getting the focus, the Dryads, they don't do that much DPS to heroes or to abominations really on their own. So the Dryads, while there is a large and considerable army there, they're not something that the Undead can't deal with, even with a smaller force.
Very true, especially with the abominations, like you say. No disease cloud, which would be really nice, but Naga TPing out.
And the Elf leaving that fight at 68 supply, while the Undead is going to have to struggle at 34.
Yeah, I think ColorFul made a really good decision there. He lost all his bears, but he got all the air and TP'd out, and now is remaking some of his bears. He still has a nice army. He just needs to get a couple more bears, and then he can keep up the aggression.
And this is one of the things I like about the Dryad Bear army, because Dryads are, I don't really see people referring to them as this, but they essentially are an anti-air unit, because they have that stacking poison, so you have a whole bunch of Dryads. Obviously, they don't work so well in low numbers, but once you get a whole bunch of them, they can just right-click on air and it dies very quickly. But with bears, your only option as an undead to deal with those bears is either you waste all your mana on them, which then leaves no mana for the heroes, and also we're going to see a transport ship pick up by the undead, or two, you have to go heavy air, and heavy air is the destroyers and the frostworms, which heavy air is what poison and mass counteracts there, so that's the Dryads countering them. So it's a strategy that kind of... obviously, the main army is the Dryads, but by just adding a few bears, which is enough to pretty much decimate a ground army, which is the counter to the Dryads, really, is the Fiends, you're forcing your opponent right into your hand.
Yeah. I almost like maybe getting a couple meat wagons, because right now there's 9 Dryads. I almost maybe like 1 or 2 meat wagons if you can get a good enough position fight. I don't know if you like doing that, but it seems to be pretty effective.
I think meat wagons are really good if you're going fiend based armies and you're wanting to waste your mana on the bears. And I don't think that's such a bad decision if your opponent is a Naga second. Really good dodge with that shade because he just got revealed.
Yeah, that was nice.
But he knew. He was like, oh, he's going to the shop where you can buy dust at the shop. Let's just run away from there.
Yeah, that was sick.
Quick reminder, this is a best of 5 played for MKL in the Chinese peoples.
Oh, and he is going for that big turtle now. Did he get his mana stone? He did go pick up his mana stone, so getting real nice use out of that transport ship.
Oh, this is not bad. This is not bad. The abomination can tank this, no problem.
I think it's definitely easier for the undead to do because he can just use orb and it's
Tome of XP and a stone token.
Oh, stone token is
so
really good. It's really, especially with the nuke strategy that this undead has been going for.
Rune of
really
Rebirth. Good. Are you kidding me?
Wait, for what?
Nice on the sea elemental.
That's awesome.
That's like just kind of a fiend, basically. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at that stats. It's almost identical to a fiend. Obviously, you can't heal it with coil, but you're not gonna have mana for coiling your fiends anyway, really.
Yeah.
Another Frostworm on the way out. Another Abomination just coming out. Disease Cloud has now finished. The real struggle I think the Undead's going to face here is keeping his heavy air alive. If he can do that, his best chance to do that is going to be fighting near trees and then not being lazy with his micro and keeping those out of his control group with his Lich. Because we saw that earlier, at least it looked a lot like to me, and I see that you see this kind of frequently, where an Undead player has all their units in one control group, because obviously it's really good for coil, but sometimes when you start to panic, you might hit that control group in a fight, and kind of move your something around. Usually when your hero gets low and you're trying to like get a coil and your destroyers come right back into the fight at low HP that you painstakingly microed out when they were very low and over those trees. So as long as he doesn't do that, he can probably keep them alive if he fights near the trees. And there's a lot of very good spots on this map for him to do that. You can just kind of see that, like, almost there's very few places that are just straight up completely open. And certainly nowhere that he wants to fight is completely open.
Yeah, you can just see this whole middle section. If you fight anywhere near there, you can take a really nice fight with your Destros.
Oh, this Wisp. Damn it, no. Oh, that is so unfair that the Wisp just dispels all the blight. On the
At
bright
least he
side,
got the one Zig down, yeah.
the Zig is down. He probably
a
should have
pretty
killed
nice
that
play,
Wisp
though.
first.
Yeah.
Because he scattered it earlier. He may have not seen it, but if you had. Also,
I-
we're seeing Hippogriffs added with 2-0 attacks.
He did kill another Wisp there earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he ColorFul moved another one down.
Son of a bee. Another
Yeah.
dust dodge by that shade. I'm not sure where the shade even is, though.
And we do 4 Hippogriffs. I don't know if you mentioned that. But
Yeah.
that is just to nullify the point you were just talking about going over trees.
Can't do that now.
Hippogriffs. Yeah.
Of course, we're going to see the roar.
That also does mean that you have to get pretty much, I want to say, equal numbers of Hippogriffs with your Fiends so that you can web each and every one of them.
I don't think that that's even possible. I will say this, too. The elf is sitting at 89 food. I mean, that's going to be a difficult proposition for the undead to deal with. He's sitting at 66.
And he
that
can
is-
just, yeah.
The undead, like I said, I think this is what it's come down to for the undead is that his death knight is level 5. He's got some nice items. His lich and his crypt lord are both level 4, almost just about halfway through it. If he can kill enough of those units that he gets triple 5s, I think he could still win the game. Obviously, he's not going to get the economy anytime soon, so he is out economied. But you know, sometimes undead has to fight in that position, and if you play really well with your heroes, as long as you've gotten enough XP to deal with it in the late game, you know, maybe you're okay. Maybe.
Are under attack.
Maybe.
He's obviously at the disadvantage though.
And obviously, Undead's heroes scale a lot better than a Naga does.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
I mean, if he can kill, maybe say the Demon Hunter, he can pretty much deal with all these bears with just his heroes, and then Dryads aren't too scary. But here comes fight.
And getting mana burn at the start of a fight and then running away is really not good for him because mana is really his life force here.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't even get those webs, so that's why he has to back up.
Yeah. That's Sea Elemental. Oh,
Lived a good life.
that's killed twice.
Yeah. Good on life.
And this
He's
is
picking up those Hippogriffs pretty nicely, but he's losing Fiends, which, you know, are obviously more
He's-
valuable than Hippogriffs.
He's completely out of mana, though. That's why that's so bad. Completely out of mana. At least he's made it back to his base, and he's got the rock golem out, but even with that, he doesn't have the nuking power right now. Still going for those Hippogriffs. Obviously, he has no choice. He can't fight but lose all of his air just for free. Dryads don't even have to focus it if there's that many Hippogriffs out, so just kind of trying to take the Demon Hunter down. He does have that Potion of Lesser Invernity. Goes ahead and uses it. Gets level 6, so he has Metamorphosis now. Still has the ability to staff out the Demon Hunter on the Naga, as well as having a TP on the Naga. So Demon Hunter, or rather the Night Elf's not in a bad spot whatsoever. He has staffed the Demon Hunter out now. You can see level 5 picked up on the Naga. Here comes the Demon Hunter right back in after he's maned up and Moonwelled up, rather. And here comes the Metamorphosis. He's going to come in here, and this is not looking good for the Undead.
No, not one bit. He has 2 Destros left. All his Abominations gone down. Bear's just wrecking. That Fork Lightning looked really nice.
And poor Crypt Lord.
Yeah. I think that was level 3 Fork Lightning.
I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And GG.
GG. Well played, both sides.
Yeah.
Speed it up. Get to the end of this.
It's just really tough fighting without an Expo. It's an uphill battle from the time the Night Elf gets the Expo. You have to take really good fights.
And that's definitely why we see that tier 3 push being so common, I think, because it hits. It's designed to hit when the elf gets that expansion up. Actually, just a little bit after their expansion finishes, because that's like the optimal time to hit somebody, obviously, because they've had the most resources invested with the least gain.
Very true.
Although it is high risk, obviously, because if you fail, then, oh shit, well,
Yeah,
things
then
go
you're
bad.
behind.
You're way behind.